My name's Ann Reinhardt, and Brian Clark is my husband. In the middle of the night, Brian woke me up, and he has a tendency to sleepwalk in the past, and so I thought maybe that's what was going on, but I could quickly see that something was wrong. And he had his Apple Watch, and he was just kind of kept slapping it on his arm like he couldn't feel it. And he was, at that point, slurring his words so much that I could not understand anything. He called 911 right away, and thankfully, we live very close to an EMT, and they were there within, it seemed, a couple minutes. I don't exactly know, because time is kind of slowed down and sped up all at the same time.
My name is Brian Clark, and I'm a stroke survivor. I was riding in the ambulance thinking to myself, what was happening to me? Is this the end of my journey? My grandfather had a stroke when he was 64, marking the end of his life, basically, and I did not want that for myself. They come in the bedroom, wheel me out into the ambulance. We go to Mercy downtown, and I have an emergency thrombectomy surgery. And they remove the blood clot from my brain, restoring blood flow back to my brain.
Is he gonna survive? If he survives, what is he gonna be like? Is he going to recognize me? Will he know what's going on? He just said, you know, I was able to get the full clot out. It all depended upon how long that had been there. And no one knows that because he was asleep. So we have no idea.
And just not knowing exactly what's happening was the scariest part. And saved my life basically by calling them so quickly. And having them come so fast that every minute we lose 2 million brain cells. So for every minute of the stroke, you're suffering more and more damage. I was extremely healthy, worked out every morning. I was a vegetarian and was watching my diet and thought I was pretty healthy and never imagined it happening to me.
And thankfully, On With Life had an opening, and I mean, that was invaluable to his recovery.
When Brian came to us, it was an incredibly engaging guy. Just the way in which he embraced the rehabilitation process, embraced his fellow persons served and families, and engaged all of us really reminded us what rehabilitation is all about. And it helped sort of start the process of moving us out of that sort of restricted world of COVID rehab back into this idea that brain injury rehab is a community thing. And I credit Brian with starting that process for us.
I've got 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. My daughter's wedding was coming in 18 months, and I wanted to walk her down the aisle and experience what every dad wants to experience with their daughter's wedding. And that was a big motivation for me.
If you were gonna write a textbook about how you handle adversity, how you navigate challenging things, roll with the punches, accept what's happened, and figure out a way to move forward, that would be Brian's name next to that definition.
The therapy was incredibly vital. The therapists here, they connect with you to learn your story, what motivates you, what your goals are, and they customize your therapy to reflect those goals. So every day they knew my goal was to walk her down the aisle. And so we worked on strengthening my legs, my entire body based on those goals. They also knew I liked to golf, and so they worked golf into my rehab.
I took him to the driving range and practiced swinging the club. Do you need adaptive equipment to help hold the club because of the weakness in your arm? How you do with balance, are you able to do some of that, or do you need somebody with you? So we were able to practice kind of those leisure activities like golf, but also like getting in the car then.
And just seeing my daughter so happy to be a part of her day was so important to me. But it took a village for me to get there. My wife and her support, the therapists and their work, and my efforts. It was an amazing day.
He's just a great example of how he took something bad that happened to him and kind of turned it into, how can I make this a positive thing, still be there for my family, still do what I love to do for work, be active.
The obstacle becomes the journey. And through this obstacle, I've become a better person, a better dad, and a better husband.
He's one of the most positive people I've ever met in my life. And he's always had a good attitude, and that didn't change. Because I know if it had happened to me, I may not have had such a sunshiny attitude about it. So that was something that was really a joy to see, and seeing him inspiring others that he got to meet that were going through a similar thing.
I think a heart-healthy lifestyle is imperative to avoid heart disease and strokes in the future. So whoever I can talk to about limiting their smoking, drinking, and doing a heart-healthy diet, exercise program, etc., I want to do that.
He just really has a way of making everybody feel comfortable and feel good when they're around him. He's inspired me, he's inspired his family, he's inspired other people here. I can't even imagine what it would have been like without him there for his daughter's wedding or his son's graduation or the birth of his second grandchild. I mean, I don't even know what that would be like.
Now, life's little moments with a granddaughter, I cherish so much more now. I've got new perspective on work-life balance and family balance, and appreciating those moments so much more now.